$24,000 for a bike.
Now everybody here is hush. They over there talking in little huddles. Yeah. I gotta call my mom and ask about this.
Yeah. Goal. Is it safe to race, Goal? I don't know.
I don't know.
I don't know, Goal. Is it safe to race?
You are watching your Fast Life Motorcycle channel, and this is a reality check to street racers, to motorcycle street racers around the world. You have guys that are claiming they have bone-stock S1000RR, and they will go and try to challenge the H2, which clearly has more horsepower and it's supercharged. Never mind the weight of the bike. Yes, weight does matter. But never mind the weight. Look at the horsepower numbers. Look at the torque. Look at the fact that it's supercharged. And you mean to tell me that you think you can destroy a stock Ninja H2 with a stock S1000RR? What are you smoking? But then there is the issue of weight. Not the weight of the bike, but the weight of the rider. So, you want to race a bone stock, supposedly bone stock S1000RR, and you weigh 170, 180 pounds or something like that, and you want to race a rider who weighs over 200 pounds, 140, 150, and you want to brag and get too excited about what you can do racing when there's almost 100-pound difference between you and the other rider? Do you realize that in the exotic car world, that there are cars like Lamborghini where they build cars called the Superleggera? This is a car that is super lightweight. It's a super lightweight version of another model. So you have, let's say you have a Gallardo, that's just a V10 car. And then you have the Superleggera. So it's based on the same platform, but it's super light. And you actually have things that are in the other model that aren't in the Superleggera, because to make it light, they remove things. And you pay more money. So you're paying more money for a car that actually potentially has less. But the most important less is the weight. Why would you pay all this amount of money to have a car that potentially has less? Because weight is a huge part of your performance, your handling, your acceleration. A motorcycle only weighs but a few hundred pounds. 300 pounds, 400 pounds, 500 pounds if you're a little overweight. If you have almost 100-pound weight difference between two riders, how can the lighter weight rider, with all honesty and all integrity, brag about what you can do to a rider that's almost 100 pounds more than you? If you guys are close at all, that is a testament to the bike that has the heavier rider. Because with all that extra weight, the lighter rider should be way ahead. So when you look at a situation like that, you have to wonder, is the bike really a bone stock S1000RR? I think not. And even if it is, you have close to 100-pound weight difference. That is going to matter a lot when it comes to acceleration. So before someone who is a lightweight rider get too excited and let that ego get a little bit too out of control, hashtag reality check. 100-pound weight difference or anywhere close to that is massive. It's all about power to weight ratio. That is why we can destroy so many really powerful cars on our motorcycles, right? We all know that. We have a lot of power relative to the weight. And now you're going to throw in almost 100 extra pounds and don't think that's going to have a major effect. So I think people who try to challenge the H2 stock with a supposedly stock S1000RR that we all know is not stock, usually, and then you're going to be weighing a lot less than the rider you're challenging? Seriously. If you want a real challenge, you need riders that have similar weight. You got a rider who's 150, another rider who's 160, and you're both on actual stock bikes. That's why the real racer, the real drag racer, are the professionals who race on an actual drag strip where they actually verify the weights of the vehicles. They verify what you've done to the vehicles so you know what you're up against. But on the street, it's just a lot of smack talk and liars. Everybody, oh, I got a bone stock, bone stock, bone stock. It's not bone stock. especially for those people that want to talk smack about the Ninja H2. How are you going to have a bike that stock has way less horsepower? You naturally aspirate, and you're going to defy the laws of physics and destroy a Ninja H2. Really? And then we consider the fact that it's not even a stock H2. It's been modified, so it has more horsepower than a stock H2. And you're going to beat it on a stock. You can keep lying to yourself, but you're not fooling me, because I'm not an idiot. And the next thing is this whole idea of this highly modified Ninja H2. And it's not even like it's a hidden thing. It's out there for everyone to know. Destroying all these bikes. At this point, the destruction of those bikes are not really legitimate destruction, because it's no longer a stock H2. Everybody wants to know what the H2 is capable of. The H2 out of the box. Now, the only modification that I will accept that is a legitimate modification in terms of bragging rights for the H2 are the de-restriction modification. Because we know for legal reasons that the bike is highly restricted. So we know that the bike is actually a lot more powerful than the way they sell it to you. I know some people don't appreciate that kind of modification, but the reality is you are not making the motor more powerful. You're not, changing the internals or anything, souping anything up. All you're doing is you are allowing it to do what it is actually capable of doing. If I get a V12 car, a Lamborghini with a V12, and I put a restrictor on it, so it's restricted to 200 horsepower, removing that restriction is not souping it up. That is simply allowing it to do what it's capable of doing. But that's about the only modification that I will accept, and I will consider it's still a stock. Even though technically it's not stock, but you are smacking down with manufacturer horsepower. Not horsepower you've added. This is manufacturer horsepower. That's legitimate.